Hey kids! Today we're going to learn to cook some awesome breakfast food. And of course, what would breakfast be without the egg? So let's start out by making sure we are wearing closed-toed shoes and putting up any long hair. And of course, by washing our hands. Okay, so to start out, I've made sure that I have a clean workspace and I've laid out everything we are going to need. Today we're going to be making scrambled egg muffin cups. So I've got my muffin tin, my 2 bowls, a cutting board, and a knife. I've also got 5 eggs, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and I've chosen to add bell peppers and ham to my egg muffin cups. But you could add any veggies or meat that you like broccoli and chicken, or spinach and turkey, or nothing at all. Whatever floats your boat. Now that we've got our supplies, we're going to need to preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Now, let's grab our muffin tin. In order to make sure that our eggs don't stick to our tin as they cook, we have to grease it. So I'm going to use butter to grease mine, but if you have Pam or any other brand of nonstick spray, you can very carefully spray it onto your muffin tin. Okay, so we've got our oven preheated, we have our muffin tin greased. Now let's wash our hands again, and then we're going to crack some eggs. One very important thing about cracking eggs is you want to very carefully tap the egg on the side of the bowl, and once it starts to crack, take your 2 thumbs and gently pull the 2 halves of the shell apart. Now, make sure there are no parts of the shell that have fallen into the bowl. We don't want to eat those. Now, you pour that egg into the second bowl. Keep cracking eggs in the first bowl and pouring them into the second. We do this, we crack the eggs one at a time to make sure that if we crack open a rotten egg, it doesn't spoil the entire batch. Now, what's cool about eggs is that a single egg has only 75 calories, but 7 grams of high quality protein, 5 grams of fat, and 1.6 grams of saturated fat. 1 egg also has iron, vitamins, minerals, and other disease-fighting nutrients. Since eggs are a good source of protein, it also makes them super filling, which is a good thing to eat for breakfast. Once you're done cracking the eggs, wash your hands again. Because while delicious when cooked, uncooked eggs can carry dangerous bacteria that should not be eaten. Now that our hands are washed, we get to sprinkle just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper into the bowl. And now, here comes my favorite part. We get to whisk it. Whisk it real good. Whisk is just a fancy way to say stir until stuff is mixed well. And if you don't have an actual whisk, that's okay. You can just use a fork. Alright, now I'm going to set the whisked eggs to the side and I'm going to prepare my veggies. First thing, grab your veggies and make sure you peel any stickers off of them. We do not want to eat those. Rinse your veggies under the water to make sure you get any dirt off of them before we cut them up. Now you can cut your veggies into small pieces. Since I'm using a bell pepper, they can be kind of hard to cut, so you may want to ask a parent or an adult for help. What I do is I take a knife and I gently pierce the top of the bell pepper and cut it in a circle. This should make the top easy to pull out, and you can more easily cut the pepper in half and begin to chop it into smaller pieces. Once I have my pieces cut up, I sprinkle a few of the little pieces of bell peppers, or whatever veggies you have, into the muffin tin. Now that we have our veggies, if you like meat and want to cut up some lunch meat or any other type of cooked meat, go for it. I really like ham, so I'm going to use ham lunch meat. Again, just cut it into small little pieces. Once you have your pieces, sprinkle a few into each muffin tin. Don't fill the muffin tins too full, or else this is going to get a little messy. Let's wash our hands again before we get to the next part. Okay, so we've washed our hands again, we've got our meats and our veggies in the muffin tins. Now we need to pour the eggs into the tin. What I like to do is take a small measuring cup and fill it up with our whisked eggs, and then use that to pour the eggs into the muffin tin. Fill them until they're about 3/4 of the way full. Be very careful with this part, or it'll get a little messy. Now, once your tins are full of eggs and delicious veggies and meat, very carefully open the oven and place your muffin tin on your oven rack. Then cook the eggs for 15 to 20 minutes. Once they're done, carefully pull them out of the oven and let them cool down for about 5 minutes. Once they're not too hot to touch, you can pop them out of the muffin tins using a butter knife and then enjoy your tasty breakfast treat. I really like making these on the weekend, and then I get to eat them all throughout the week, and I don't have to worry about what I'm going to have for breakfast. I hope you guys had an awesome time making these, and I hope yours turn out as delicious as mine did.